they were too engulfed in their work that by the time they come back from home, they just wanted time for themselves. So they would have forgot every other aspect of family life.
He's basically a young man at 22, 23.
Yeah.
Okay, just trying to find his feet.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a household, and this is my thing why I'm against this rent thing. If you're collecting money off your child, because a lot of times they say, oh, I'm going to collect the rent, put it aside for you. When you get told that you can have deposit for mortgage. Stop it. Yeah. Some parents, maybe, but my thing is, I know kids that are in uni doing mad hours trying to get their degree, but having to work extra hours just to have money. And their parents are asking for rent. I'm studying.
No, it's bad.
I'm studying a degree. Like, I shouldn't be having to pay rent.
There've been points in my life where my parents have asked me to pay rent, and I've always tried my way out of it.
Also, they did kind of ask.
Not on a Yusuf, come sit down, let's have a conversation. It's always been said in jest, and I've always like ignored it, brushed it aside, talking my way out of it. So if I would have offered them rent, they would have said yes. But my mum specifically made a point to say no, you don't have to pay rent because you need to save, you got your own life to live, whatever. My dad was if I said to my dad I'll pay rent, he'll be like cool. He's not going to refuse the money. Like I said before, in the last couple of years, I paid council tax and I contributed to household stuff, you know, food, whatever.
Hit the joke. For me, I actually don't mind that I did. I'll tell you why. Because, one, my aunt didn't really necessarily need to bring me over here. You get me? You've already got like 4 kids and all that when you brought me over here. 2, I think if she didn't do that, I wouldn't know how to handle money.
No, but look at this.
Because indirectly, indirectly.
I believe there's no one that should live in someone's house. Even when we talk about men and women dating, there's no one that should feel comfortable being in someone's environment and not contributing. So even if like I go out with my friends who are really rich, they might say to me, you know what, G, like, what are you spending for, man? Like, I got this, and I'd be like, even if it's just the Coke that I'm buying for the table that they've really bought the bottle, I feel that I just don't feel comfortable not contributing something. Do you know what I mean? So I believe someone should, but when it's mandated, when you can see this person is clearly struggling, like I'm at uni doing whatever to do to get a degree, and you're collecting money, and sometimes it's not even fair. Like my little cousin came out of prison for doing 12 years. On my mother's life, the day this boy landed back in his mum's house, within 1 week, she was asking for rent. The brother came out and done 12 years. He's landed back in his mum's house. Within a week, she's asking for rent. Obviously, he's a big man. He's 31, 32 now. But I've just come out of jail.
Where do you expect the piece to come from?
20.
So
now, what he's now done now, he said, F this. He said, I'm coming out of it.
Where does he expect the money to come from?
And listen, I'm not justifying why young boys commit crime and do things. Because you got to remember, sometimes we're trying to get jobs.
The thing is, it's all
actively, but it all comes.
It's all justified.
There was times here that I fell out with my aunt. Like when my aunt said, "Rah, you ain't paying no money this month." Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Rah, I haven't got a job at the time," and she's like, "Rah, if you don't blah blah blah." Then I said, "Cool." Then I've hit the roads. You get me?
No, it is.
So I remember like I remember telling her, my mum. That's why this is a question I was gonna ask you too. Say like now, if you fell flat on your face here, would you ever move back home?
To my mum's.
Yeah.
Me first.
I couldn't move back physically anyway.
Why?
So there's no space for me. Like, there's no space. Like, for example, if I had to move back into my old room, I'll be a whale in a sardine can. So it's impossible for me to move back. So no, I wouldn't.
I'll use my mind.
I'll find somewhere else.
The reason why I asked that question here, because remember I said to you, I've got this homeless friend. He's at Tesco, always outside begging. And before I was trying to figure out why, because his parents are like, he's a 51-year-old man, and his parents are like 70. So his parents had him young, and they live in Kent, and they've got a house. But I always wondered why he lived by himself. But after certain talks with him, it goes back to childhood, where he rather stay homeless and be independent than go back to his parents' house. And I was like, you know what? Like at first, I used to think why. Then when you start thinking all little things that has happened to you, I'm thinking to myself, right?
I don't want to live under the parents.
I can't go back home.
Do you like the person you are now? Like, do you like the person you are now?
Okay.
And how much of the person you are now do you attribute to your upbringing?
Okay. Slowly, I still have flaws. And there's still a lot of things I'm learning to try to unlearn. But slowly I'm liking myself more, slowly. Cool. But there are so many things that I'm trying to unlearn still as a big old man now. And it's the upbringing I had. Having strict parents. And if my parents restricted me because I was naughty, I would understand.
But you wasn't naughty. That's the same with me.
I would understand, but I wasn't. And the issue I have now is that a lot of us, I don't blame our parents because they didn't know better.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, they've come from a traumatic experience coming from West Africa.
They've got trauma too. They've come over here in the 70s, 80s.
80s.
They're living, as you said before,
it's hard.
It's a hard life.
It's hard.
So you've moved from Africa. You now have to raise kids, hustle, make money, work 2 to 3 jobs. It's hard for them, innit? And one thing I can say is this: as much as me and my dad didn't get along, one of the main reasons why I didn't get into crime was because of my dad.
Is that being strict?
The fear that he put in me, I wasn't going to step a foot wrong. I could have sold. I went to a very bad school. I had friends who were doing madnesses. I could have got involved.
Technically, he's alright.
Hear me out.
He's alright.
Hear me out. I could have got involved at any given time. I had 2 fears in my heart: fear of going to prison and fear of my dad. That kept me on the straight and narrow. Even uni, when them lot was saying, I could have got involved, but I'm like.
But is it fair to say it wasn't in you anyway? Because see, my thing though is that
I don't think it was in you.
Because I tell you what it is, I think some people are inherently bad.
It was no.
I think that some of the boys we grew up with, you remember being in primary school?
Yeah.
There were certain kids who did some mad shit. Like someone will set the toilet on fire. Like,
No.
Are you alright?
I was a good boy, so
what are you doing?
like I wasn't inherently bad.
Yeah.
But I'm still a young, impressionable child who could be influenced. I went to Kingsdale, the school's quite bad, but no matter where I went, I always stayed on the straight and narrow because obviously I had values, I had morals, whatever, but it's because of my upbringing. So to answer your question, have our parents failed us? It's a yes or no. Both things can be true. They failed me in some aspects, but didn't in other aspects because I like the person I am today. We've all got flaws, There's a lot of my morals, standards and attributes are because of my upbringing. But there's this whole side of my life where I think my parents failed me, for sure. But on the other side, they done a great job. You know what I'm trying to say?
I always think to myself, personally, if I didn't feel certain pressures, I'd have never done road.
Because it's 2 sides to it.
Yeah, no, that's the truth.
Especially see that rent part, when you force your children or young adults that they have to pay rent. That part, it hurts my heart.
We see the things,
No, I hear you.
Like you see the thing, growing up, I never feared jail. Like you see, like other men used to fear jail.
Worst nightmare, bro.
Yeah.
Like even though it was a nightmare, I never feared jail, and I know why. You might not understand it. Growing up there, certain times I used to feel so lonely. I'll give you an example. In year 10, man got kicked out for fighting.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get permanently kicked out of school. So my aunt was like, "Raw, to show." She's like, if you turn out like these bad boys and you go jail, blah blah blah. This is what's going to happen. So for 1 week straight, when I was not allowed in school, man had to stay in my room the whole week. There was no. It was like being on lockdown. You couldn't even come out the room for the whole week. You could literally only come out the room to go to the bathroom and back. That was it. There was no interaction. So during that 1 week of being on my own and being isolated, I even said it to her like years later. I said, like the effect of that 1 week, it made me fix up on certain things, but at the same time, it made me realize that I'm a bit harder than I thought I was. Because I became so used. That's where being used to my space and being used to how, example, all us man will go out together, but you see me a lot of times I just go wandering off on my own because I'm so self-assured and so everything about me is just.
I get you, but
everything about me is me. And you know what it is, I said to her, all of that came from being stuck in my room. That no matter where you put me, I feel comfortable. So I said, I could be in the tightest hole, and I feel calm. And I said to her that, it came out of not choice. You get what I'm saying? It came out of being put in certain situations that I could be flat on my face in the worst possible situation, and I'm still a bit chilled and comfy. But it's not by choice. It's just how I'm built. You get me? So it got to a certain point, and I was like, I used to have weird calculations. I used to be like, if I keep doing this, boom, 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 then I get to this level, and I start making this kind of money. What could be my risk number? So I'll tell you what kind of made me stop all of that. Because I used to. It was a simple thing. It was my ex. My ex said to me, if you go jail, I'm never gonna come visit you. So I was like, these niggas ain't getting pussy in jail. that was the realest of it. I was like, these niggas ain't getting pussy in jail, and because I was so loved up, I was like, if I go jail, this is gonna break me. I'm gonna leave her, and some next guy is gonna be beaten, and I'm just gonna be here. You get me in pain, and literally,
you know, she's up to this day, yeah, claims that he never cheated.
I never.
On his,
I swear down.
Up to this day, yeah,
brother, 100%.
So this can go on camera.
Yeah, 100%.
So this can go on camera. So
I swear, on my life.
During what year to what year?
On my life.
During what year to
on my life. On my life. He will tell you. On my life.
Oh wait.
On my life. I've never cheated on my exes.
No. Let's talk about the.
Brother, no, I'm being serious.
No, the one we're talking about now. What was that? What year to what year was that?
I was over 2012 to 2014.
So you're saying it's 2012, 2014?
Brother, I was with my girl all the time.
2 years.
That's 2 years.
I was with my girl.
Are you saying that you can't be with a girl for 2 years?
No. What is this?
Brother,
you're so surprised.
No.
That means that
no. It's not case I'm not surprised at this.
No.
All right. This is Wait.
Go on. Camera. During that period, was I even hanging with the man them like that? I was with my girl all the time.
Right.
And even when I went out with the man them, I always brought my girl. Wherever we went, wasn't my girl
Why do you
there.
think he couldn't have cheated?
All right.
Brother, I'm not wild when I'm with this guy. Don't get.
Let the conversation.
I'll tell you why. Swing the camera. What did I say to you, like the reason why I'm single?
I think it was because you kind of. What's the reason you're single?
What did I say to you, the reason why I'm single?
Peace, you want peace?
One, but I said to you before, unless I find someone that I proper like, I'm not gonna settle, because I know me. I'm a person that if I like someone properly, I don't, you know what I mean?